everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I was going to do my makeup because I'm going out this evening for dinner with my family, so I thought I would film it, give you guys a little chit chat, get ready with me type thing, showing you my favorite products and some of the products I bought on holiday. It is this makeup look I'm wearing right now. It's very glowy, it's very kind of like all year round, any kind of occasion sort of makeup, so I hope you enjoy it and let's get to it. I've had so many questions since I mentioned this primer, saying that it keeps flaking off your skin and your foundation doesn't apply on top of it, and this is an amazing primer if you use like the tiniest amount. As soon as you over apply it, whatever you're applying on top just really messes up. And this is the amount I take. It's literally smaller than a pea size. It's literally a dot for my whole face. It's a Makeup Forever mattifying primer. If you get like an oily T-zone or just generally oily, or you're going to a hot place or something like that, this primer is so good because it's like a barrier. It just blocks out anything from coming to the surface. You really have to like work it into your skin. You can see now I'm almost kind of like tugging at my skin, trying to like push the primer into my skin. On holiday I bought 3 foundations with me, which is so excessive, I know, but I bought Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk by Terry and also L'Oreal Infallible, and the only one I've reached for is L'Oreal Infallible, so I think that means it's up there in my top all foundations ever list thing. It does give a matte finish, but it gives a matte finish with a really luminous look. It doesn't give a powdery or cakey look at all. You do, again, with a matte kind of foundation, have to like really work it into your skin, like really buff it in, but I find that it lasts super long. It doesn't separate on my skin. Only thing I would say is the color match is really annoying. I actually mixed 2 shades, 104 and 106, and I apply it on this matte brush, which is number 188. You guys are going to be so bored of hearing me talk about this under eye concealer corrector thing from Tarte, but I think it's the best thing I've ever used. It's the CC under eye corrector. In case you haven't heard me rave on about it before, it's like a salmony color and it counteracts any blue bags under your eyes and just like makes everything much brighter. This is kind of like my going out evening base routine, so I do tend to apply quite a bit of concealer. I'm still in love with my Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer. I can't remember when this came out. I think it was about November time last year, and I haven't found anything that's matched up to it yet in terms of like color and longevity and blendability and like blah blah blah. So I kind of swipe that in a little triangle motion under my eyes and then blend it out either with my fingers or a beauty blender. I mentioned these 2 guys in my favorites video recently. This first one is the NYX Matte Bronzer, and I've just been over applying that a lot apparently, but look, it does blend out really nicely when you over apply it like I did. There you go. I normally actually just like dab off my brush because it does tend to have quite a high pigmentation and quite a bit of fallout as well. And then for a little bit of cheekbone action, I've fallen in love with the Kevyn Sculpting powder finally. I talk more about this in my favorites video and like what I didn't like about it before and why I like it now, but I just take that on this Tarte brush and kind of sweep that just below my cheekbone. It adds a little bit of a shadow-like definition. I've been taking quite a few pictures this month, as you guys will have seen on Instagram, and you know, when you apply makeup and then you look at it in pictures, you kind of decide what you like and what you don't like, and I think this blush has to be one of my favorite all-time blushes because in pictures it just looks so natural and it gives you such a great glow, but you don't end up looking like that person wearing the pink blush, if you know what I'm saying. It's a Laura Mercier blush. It's called Lush Nectarine. It's kind of a peachy pink, has a little golden sheen in it, but nothing like too obvious or anything. I don't really apply my blush on the apples of my cheeks ever. I kind of just apply it above where I applied my bronzer and keep the kind of apples of my cheeks bare. I remember reading somewhere that if you apply blush on the apples of your cheeks when you smile, when you stop smiling, your blush ends up being like there and it kind of ends up dragging down your face. And that's kind of always stuck with me. I know I've only had this for about a month now, but I think it's gonna be one of my favorite products of 2015. I think I definitely have to order another one. It's the Jaclyn Hill Becca Champagne Pop. This stuff is like kapow. It is seriously just potent. You'll see it now. I think I've used it in like a strobing tutorial as well, but it just seriously like makes your whole face light up. It is so gorgeous. Another kind of all-time favorite, you'll see quite a few all-time favorites popping up in this video because when I go away I don't like to bring a bunch of stuff. Well, I do but I bring like a bunch of my favorite stuff. This is a Sigma eye base. It's in the shade Peruse. I really don't apply my eyeshadows without an eye base. I really find that it helps the eyeshadows kind of last much longer and blend better, and it kind of just makes a world of difference when applying eyeshadows. I'm going to be using all MAC eyeshadows today. They are some of my favorite eyeshadows in terms of like color, their variety. I was going to say variation. I think you could say both, I don't know. So I'm going to be using this crease color, which is Cork, and just putting that as the color would suggest in my crease, like this, back and forth, using my favorite eyeshadow brush ever. This is a MAC 217. I'm not really sure where my eye look's gonna go today, but if I'm doing a kind of eyeshadow smoky eye kind of look, I'll always have a clean brush on hand just to kind of blend out any edges in between steps. And then on this pointed brush by Zoeva, it's a petite crease brush, I'm gonna take Texture. It's a kind of terracotta color, and I'm gonna apply that exactly where my crease line actually is, and then take the brush I used in the beginning with the remainder of matte Cork on it and blend that out. So while we've been here, you guys might have seen in my vlogs that I've been trying to mono ski, and I've never really gone without a teacher before because I'm so scared of not getting up and just falling in the middle of the sea and being like stranded. And today I went at 8 AM when it was still flat and went by myself and got up. So let's see if the same thing happens tomorrow, but I was quite pleased with that. I actually had a dream last night. I actually had an actual dream that I was alone in the middle of the sea and the boat had to go and leave me in the middle of the sea. That is how much of a baby I am. I've been loving using Champagne Pop as an eyeshadow, and loads of you guys, every time I wear it in videos, loads of you guys are asking me what eyeshadow I'm wearing, and I always pack it on with like a nice big fat brush, and I just kind of pack that on where I haven't applied any eyeshadow already, just kind of like staying below the crease. Again, with that first MAC brush I used, I'm just gonna blend out any edges. I don't want any of the shimmer shades to like mix with any of the matte shades, so I really like touch on the edge when I'm blending it out. And then I'm just going to go over the little crease line with MAC Texture and the pointed brush again. So on top of where I applied Champagne Pop, I'm just going to dab on the inner corner of my eye MAC Woodwinked. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows. It's such a like gorgeous golden shade. It's really going to make the Champagne Pop even more. I don't want my eyes to get a bit lost, especially when I'm using such kind of warm colors in my eyes. It has a tendency to make my eyes look a bit tired, so I'm just going to use my Kat Von D liner and do a little kind of cat flick situation. Let's see where the liner takes us. I never like to say what kind of liner I'm going to do until after I've done the liner, because you never know, people. These are little DHC olive oil cotton bud things, and they're amazing for cleaning up any eyeshadow or eyeliner mistakes. So I'm just going to take that and clean up that wing a little bit. I don't really want this black line to be so harsh, and I kind of like the effect of like a kind of feline eye when I'm doing something like this. So I'm going to take this tiny little flat brush, and it has a bit of matte black eyeshadow on it, and I'm just going to like flick that kind of upwards from the outer corner of my eyes and then run it along the rest of the line. I'm going to dip this fluffy soft definer brush from Zoeva in the same matte brown colour I used before, just really lightly to blend out the black eyeshadow. So I've just curled my lashes, and I'm going to use a waterproof mascara. I've really been liking using waterproof mascaras because I don't find they smudge or run, and the curl kind of holds after I curl my lashes when I use a waterproof mascara. This one's my favorite. I've tried quite a few, and this is the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Waterproof Mascara. So there you go, that's the kind of like before and after. So I think I mentioned back in January that this was like my new favorite brush for doing like a smoky something under my eyes, and 7 months later, I'm still obsessed with this. It's the Real Technique. I'm not actually sure what Real Techniques brush this is. Oh, here it is, 201. So I'm just gonna dab that in Satin Taupe. You kind of like swirl your brush in it so it kind of covers the whole little dome. I'm just gonna run that all along my bottom lash line. It kind of really evenly distributes the product, but like doesn't make it look too intense or too bold. Okay, I've kind of left my brows till second last because these brows though, guys, they are in desperate need of professional help. The tweezers are just not doing any good at this point. They're actually doing more bad than good. The monobrow is coming out in full force. If you've seen, I can't remember what video it was our awkward teenage years, you'll see what my brows are naturally like, and yes, that is what's happening right now. So I'm just gonna brush them through. I'm just gonna use my L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper just to kind of like get that gel in there to make sure they kind of stay in as much place as they can. My lips is like my favorite new part of my routine. I've really found like a lip trio that I love. I just like the way my lips appear after I've kind of like done this little routine. So loads of you guys have actually been asking when I post pictures on my Instagram what I'm wearing on my lips, and it's usually this 3 combination. First, I start with Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. I've been through probably about 5 or maybe 4 of these, and I kind of slightly overline my lips with it. Wow, the sun is really catching up with me. I keep moving and it keeps following me. And then next I take MAC Soar, which is kind of a bit of a more darker plummy shade than Pillow Talk, and I kind of run that around the outer corners of my lip. I've done a whole video on how to make your lips look bigger, so I'll link that below in case you guys want to see more. And then I'll normally apply a lipstick or a gloss or something over the top, but I also have really been liking this because it's more of a balmy kind of lipstick. It's number 12 from YSL. I think this is the Sheer Candy range. So it gives a kind of glossy, more juicy effect to the lips. So that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of chit chat makeup get ready with me video, and make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter in case you want to see more. And I think that's about everything. I hope you are having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!